Good evening, all. I suggest we go through an immersion and feedback on artificial intelligence for the protection of international events. And in a sports structure, we want to emphasize the issues linked to sports events and how we are faced with cyber challenges or e-challenges, which are somewhat special. The sports industry is targeted on notions which are of activism, as we've seen that in Rio or Tokyo Olympic Games, when the broadcasts were impacted or data theft contributed to exfiltration of several giga of data on customers. Cyber terrorism. So cyber activism and cyber terrorism, because the limit between the digital world and the physical world has disappeared as ice melted. Given the renown of a big event like a football cup or Champions League, there are geopolitical stakes in relation to foreign powers, and it's relatively simple, without scaring you, that it is relatively simple through a cyber attack to create physical problems. So if I can give you an example, it's to say on a stadium or during a concert, when we've got a gauge on the pitch defined by security and safety, and when the pitch can only host 15,000 people, if the cyber criminal can tackle the ticketing or modify the site manifest and to bypass this limit, linking that with the access control and bypassing the fact that the ticket can be used several times, the cyber attack, which is not very complicated to implement, becomes straight away critical on the site, because we're supposed to have 10,000 people on the pitch and we end up with 30,000, so you can imagine the consequences. Third aspect is, obviously, we heard about the mercantile aspect, because the cyber criminals know that with the international exposure and given the very limited resources to provide a very quick answer, if an international event is impacted or a stadium impacted by a ransomware, there will be very few other options but to pay the ransom money. I often talk about a cyber paradox, and with all the respect I have for your respective industries, it remains a cyber paradox, because protecting a stadium for an international event is the most complex thing, and I've been able to deal with that for the last 20 years. Why is it? Because we've got a mission to protect our assets and our services, and on the other hand, we are to manage the event and to authorize the organizer to run the show. We have to authorize unknown people, subcontractors of subcontractors, to interact with the infrastructure of the stadium or the arena. And in most cases, we discover the potential border effect on the day. When the stadium is the host, the stadium is rented, there's going to be a legion of subcontractors who on the day will have access to the LAN, use Wi-Fi to be able to interact with giant screen. And all these devices, which are brought by freelancers mostly, are not managed at all, neither by them nor by us. So it's a cyber paradox, and it's a constant challenge we have to face. The second problem is about IT and OT issues. We had a revolution, a digital revolution. We went from the analogic to the digital world. So in the event organization world and in stadium, I mean, all the systems which were managed by general services or technical services, procurement, because of the IP migration, they were managed by IT teams So in terms of project portfolio and systems to be managed, it has increased a great deal with an increase in competence which had to be done on spec. So if you go from an analogic system to an IP system, the surface of attack is multiplied by 1,000. How did I answer directly and simply to this complexity? Because of the technology world, we were faced with finding answers, but in a standalone way. We had migration plans in the cloud. We needed to have an XDR, but even in deploying all that, in implementing all that nicely, we were still unable to have a full view, 360 degrees of all the systems of the company. And it's a risk because you know better than I that the part which is the most dangerous one in the iceberg is the hidden one. In the case of an cyber attacks, we can't defend against something we don't know or we can't see. So that led me to call on artificial intelligence, giving it a chance. We've got two main criteria which are very strong in the world of event organization is MTTK and MTTR. Time it takes to detect an event and the time to limit this incident. And in the event organization world, when we've got a match lasting 90 minutes, it's not possible for the smallest thing to happen and for the detection, analysis, and response rate to be of less than 5 seconds, which no person can do. So the idea was to give an opportunity to artificial intelligence, which is self-learning, which is not trained, and see how capable it is. So in the world of events, as DSI, I'm coming from Singapore, sorry, because I caught a cold actually. The idea was to let AI discover the whole process or the business. So on a stadium, we've got the business as usual, the normal days in the week, where we're going to focus on the IT assets management, office and corporate. We've got the event world. AI has got to understand both worlds, what is a non-event world and what is an event world. And in the particularity of the approach that I used is to have enough time to leave AI discover the whole of the different modes, non-event, event, and in event mode, what is a football match, a rugby match, and a concert. Because again, they are approaches which are completely different. So cyber criminals innovate constantly and go faster than the defense in this game of cat and mouse. I mean, we were one step behind, and using AI capable of detecting the subtle deviation without basing itself on rules of signature. It was an innovative approach for me, and it was proved on the field, and that's how I have implemented it on a lot of well-renowned stadium. We talked about AI on the defense side. It is still a reactive mode. It's not a fireman where we have to analyze in a very short time. AI does it very quickly, but I mean, we're doing still that in a reactive mode. How can AI and this change in paradigm, how could it deal with prevention and to bypass pain test? Because if I make a parallel with my pain test obligations, we had to have 2 to 4 pain tests in a year. It was more to deal with standardization. In terms of budget, we had to reduce the scope. So when we're looking for pen tests, if we have external pen tests. We share information with this pen tester to limit the scope and limit the envelope. So we didn't have a perfect vision of the risks. And what we managed to do on artificial intelligence on the defense part, we used it in the offensive part, simulating attack, and it's attack simulation because there are going to be true attack simulated but non-impacting 24/7 to prevent any risk. So artificial intelligence will start on a mode of blank sheet of paper, 0, without any information other than the name of your company, and AI will look at different attack vectors or factors to what is possible to discover about your company, and the more direct way to proceed to service disruption or to export your data. So as you can see on this slide, it's really an approach which is a 360-degree approach in real time, discovering assets, managing weaknesses, critical intelligence, attack surface management, penetration testing, team exercise, and as I explained it, attack simulation. Again, the use of artificial intelligence, whether it's from a defensive or offensive standpoint, is not there to replace the human being, but to enhance it. And I invite you to come to me if you have questions or on the social network or on the forum, and I'll share my experience if you're interested in it.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Karin Benslimane. And I would thank all the panelists, and thank you very much, gentlemen, to take part in this panel. Thank you for your participation. It was really highly interesting. We've got a drawing to close this session.
La cybersécurité est un sport d'équipe.
Cybersecurity is a team sport. Is your team ready? Gentlemen, thank you very much for your input. I will invite you to leave the stage, and I'm going to ask General Bourget, commander of the Gendarmerie for Cyberspace, and Zona Darcourt, chairman of the jury of the prize of Startup FIC, to come up on stage.
Tenez, venez avec moi, on va se mettre ici.
Okay, come with me. We'll move over here. Maybe you can present the FIC Startup Award. Thank you all. It's a pleasure to be with you for the second running year to congratulate the laureate of the Startup FIC. Since the launching of this prize, I mean, we identified gems which managed to show light at the French level and European and international level. I think that this year we've got 4 nice startups, but we brought changes, though. This year, first of all, we've opened the startup prize, the FIC Startup Prize, to European startups. In the plenary session, we understood that it was a European challenge. It was at the core of the French presidency for the European Union. So for the FIC Startup Prize, we opened it to European startups, thanks to the EXO collaboration. And we had, right from the first step, 20 European startups who applied, who became candidate. We wanted to introduce also a 4th prize, OT, Cybersecurity for Industries. Again, we heard that the attack surface is extending. We talked about the IT, OT conversions, using the cloud, using the edge, 5G. So with this attack surface broadening, we can't secure your operations in the same way. We wanted to promote the startup securing the environment, the industrial environment and system. We've got 4 prizes, therefore, four awards to give. I wanted to congratulate the juries, state, investment funds, private sector representatives, and this jury spent some time to study 75 files, auditioning 14 finalists, and having a very interesting debate. So I thank the jury for their commitment, and I think now we're ready.
Mon micro est coupé. Voilà. J'avais annoncé.
I announced General Bourget, who had to come on stage, but General Lecouf told us that cybersecurity is a team sport, and there are replacing members. Can you call for the...
Avoir nos lauréats sur scène.
Nos lauréats, sont-ils là, nos lauréats?
Les 4 gagnants.
Venez, venez.
The 4 laureates coming on stage.
Venez, monsieur. Bravo.
Welcome, congratulations.
Bonjour, pardon.
Sorry.
Restez ici, pardonnez-moi, voilà.
Stay here, okay. The hostess are going to move into the light. You deserve it, gentlemen.
Ah, voilà. On en a annoncé 4, alors voilà, on y est presque. Bonjour, où est notre 4e?
4 laureates are expected, not available. So I talked about the cybersecurity for industries. The winner of the cybersecurity industries is NanoCorper. Congratulations. First of all, I want to thank the jury, first of all, and the whole FIC organization. As first laureate of this prize, we bring this prize as high as our ambitions, but we obviously super proud. First time we are candidate, we get this prize. We selected by this highly qualified jury. It's a very big honor for NanoCorp.
Effectivement. Donc maintenant, nos
Now, our second laureate is the Arthur Prize, and Black Noise is the winner.
Ils sont très jolis.
They look very nice. I would like to thank the jury, but for the quality of the exchanges we had, I would like to thank the FIC for this authorization, for this these discussions we had. That's very interesting, very rich discussions, and I would like to congratulate the other winners and our Swiss comrades, the Swiss colleagues. I mean, for this good and fair competition.
Et donc, on passe au...
Moving on to the third prize, the Jury Prize 2020, Mindflow is the winner.
Bonsoir à tous.
Good evening all. Thank you to the jury for your trust. Mindflow, we are code. We're going to free some time for cyber analysts, and our mission is to make PsyCops common use, and it's an honor to be able to have some light on our project, to carry our vision and our ambitions further,
qui va redonner en fait du temps de qualité,
which will give some quality time to the analysts. So thank you to the whole Mindflow team, to the jury, and thank you to the team with whom we did an exceptional job these last 12 months. So this is the early stage of our adventure, and we'd be delighted to see you all next year, the next FIC session.
Et donc, le gagnant, le vainqueur.
And the winner of the FIG 2022 edition is Strong Network.
Alors, merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Je vais encore le dire, enfin, on a parlé il y a quelques semaines.
We talked about it a few weeks ago when Emma found us. I mean, we're a Swiss startup, and we're very honored. I couldn't believe it when I got the phone call. I mean, it was a great emotion we felt. I wanted to thank the FIC for opening the contest to Europe as a whole. Thanks to all the people who studied our project, our file, to weigh innovation in cybersecurity. I would like to thank my co-founder, who's not with me tonight, Ozenko Dradic, who studied in Switzerland, but who's of Serbian origin. Switzerland is a small country, so we've got to be international right from the start. And it's important for us because we want to validate also our solutions abroad before adopting them in Switzerland. I think it's a good habit, and it's thanks to contests such as FIC that we can manage that without taking it as far as the States. I mean, it gives us a validation as a European entity. Also, thank from my first employee to the last one who joined us, because they take a gamble on their future. So they come to be part of the adventure. Thank our investors, because they will look at that. They will watch it, pardon. And we've got European investors, and we've got obviously the Finnish Open Ocean trusted that with a round of fundraising of 52 million to continue with our extension. And I would like to thank my family, because you met my wife a few weeks ago, and she's been a great support to me. And she doesn't see me often enough, but that's it. I mean, as they understand the passion I have in cybersecurity and to create solutions. And thank you all. Thank you, everybody, today. Congratulations. Final word? No, well, thank you very much, General Bourget, for having joined us. Thank you to all the laureates. Thank you all. To wrap up this plenary session, thank you. I invite you to leave the stage. One last celebration with the prize of the book, and I'm going to ask Latin Voir and Siloa to join us on the stage.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Je vous en prie. Bonjour, messieurs. Bravo. Je vous donne un micro en général.
Good morning again, and I give you the microphone.
Eh bien, écoutez, pour ce prix,
Yes, for this prize, for this award, I would give the floor to the jury president. For this FIC Book Award ceremony, we have an exceptional president. Didier Fortier and Jacques Ebra are here also with us, and so I give the floor to the president, and I will ask the president to tell us what you have thought of this FIC 2022. Well, you see the participants, they are all smiling here. There is also a woman, so thank you very much for being here. I took the choice of being very visible and I dressed myself in green. So it's always more and more, frightening, but thanks to your works, you allow us to detect better and to have a long-term vision. So we have had 25 works. It's been very difficult to choose among them because they were all good. And since I have the honor to be the president of this jury in this third edition, we have to decide with Denis and Jacques unanimously on each one of you, and so I wanted to say bravo to each one of those who are not get a reward, but believe me, there was a very superb group of work, so bravo to the authors and bravo to the editions that allow you to publish your books. So now we are delivering the words. Okay, cybersecurity, so you can go on with the slides. So, Melkat, Xavier was about to negotiate the end of a program, so he's not with us, but the book is very important. I don't know if you want to say a word. Well, I would like to thank I have to speak on behalf of Xavier Leonetti, and I have to tell you that he was very moved and honored about this prize, because it's a sort of consecration. The FIC is a very important event, and it's going to confirm his actions and braveness to continue with his work. Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you very much. And the following is the Prix Cyberdéfense. We have awarded this prize, Cyberdéfense, and Sébastien Yves Laurent. He is there, yes. Congratulations. So the conflict crimes in the cyberspace is really a topic of our days. So I invite you all to read this book, and cyber defense is fundamental. Well, thank you very much for awarding me this prize. I'm quite honored. This is a very good prize, and I thank you very quickly, because the best speeches are the shortest, and I have other people behind us. I would like to thank the authors that have accompanied me. I have put together jurists, politologists, American and French. I would like to thank the publishing house with Daniel Vance, that develops and support some social works on the cyber. The topic is to study these issues of conflict, criminality, but also regulation on the technical systems, such as the cyber systems at international level. This is a huge work inside for the social sciences, and I'm very proud to have been able to publish this volume with them. So I thank the jury and the authors that have trusted me, and it's been translated in widely, with a huge number of copies sold, and the essential thing is that it is available also in English. Now, the next one.
Il est ici. Il est ici.
Jean-Gabriel Ganassia.
Jean-Gabriel Ganassia. Bravo.
Alors, le prix recherche universitaire, comme son nom.
The Research University Prix Award is an award that crowns the research work, and most of all, we have several types of works, and this one, despite its technicalities and its richness, can be read quite easily. And so, bravo, because you have to know how to write. And, you know, the objective of everyone who writes something is to be read. So you have fulfilled your task. Well, thank you. I am honored. What you have said is moving, because you have said that it is a long work. It's a work of reflection on the effects of digitalization. I am a researcher in artificial intelligence, but I have a background as a philosopher. And so I've done this behind my parents, because they couldn't know about what I was doing. But this is, you know, philosophy is something important to approach this new world. The real dangers that you treat here are not the ones that are acknowledged and recognized. Many fears of the large public do not correspond to a reality of danger. So I wrote 5 years ago a book on technological security. And I thought I had to go further up and question myself on the different ethical charters. And that's what I've done in this book, starting from a sort of anthropology of the digitalization. And I invite all the people who are here to read it. Thank you very much. Again, I'm quite moved. We go on.
Aurélie Jean est désolée, elle ne peut pas être là.
Aurélie Jean cannot be here with us. She's one of the specialists of artificial intelligence, and the book that she wrote is The Algorithms Are They the Law? So we have to move on to the other one, the other awarder, Laurent Mondeau. She has published with other authors work on the cyber crisis management. So we have to mention this book as a practical guide, because for the large public this is making them available a lot of knowledge. So we have found it very practical, and we found out that it could be read by a large public. So thank you for this work and congratulations. Thank you very much to the jury members, to all the participants. It is real that sometimes I've asked if I'm fierce about and proud about this things. No, I say no, because there are huge, brilliant authors, but they have not come here. So I feel deep recognition for this award. I am not an expert. I leave that to more brilliant people. But what I want to be is a bridge between the experts and the large public, and mainly my students, to whom I'm in debt.
Voilà. Donc j'ai le plaisir de remettre l'ouvrage collectif.
So I move on to the Damien Morgal team. It's a collective work. We have worked together a few years ago. I know that there is a huge application of this team, and this work is a good translation of the engagement and participation in the cyber research world. Well, thank you. I would like to thank the entire team. I mean, this book has been written with 72 fingers, so you make the calculation and you will see how many people have written this book. There are lawyers, communication experts, and I will not say who is who. It is a good team of people. Thank you to the jury for choosing it. We wanted to share some things, ethical, so that in group we could understand how piracy works, so that we get protected by it. We could do that even if some people among us are very old, and we're talking about a very young topic. Thank you. Thank you, and I would like to say bravo to the jury, and the publishing house IST is getting the last prize for the diversity and consistency of all the works that you have presented to this cyber security prize. For us, this is very important, and I would like to tell to the people who would like to write that I have published up to March the 31st, and will go on up to the end of 2022. Well, they will be most welcome to the next award of 2023. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for awarding me this award for the publishing sector. I thank you all for this on behalf of the entire editorial team, and a word for my colleagues that have worked in team for the work that has received a prize. I have to tell you that the book in paperwork has not died yet. Okay, thank you to all the people who have received the prize, and this is concluding our plenary session. Tomorrow we're going to have another plenary that I will animate here with Alex Berger, and is a legend. So for those who do not know him, I invite you to come here to know it. We will have in remote data scientist and Christian Claude. This plenary session can be viewed again on the YouTube channel INCYBER. So you have here all the details to connect to that YouTube channel. So I wish you a nice evening, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you to all of you.